Hi, everyone. This is Cari with Florida Hemp Olympics. I had a great time interviewing and speaking with Mike from Drew TV. So please check him out, check us out, and just keep positive, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Welcome to My First Time, the show about your first time getting high on marijuana. I'm your host, Mike Freeman with Drew TV. Today, I'd like to welcome our guest, Cari Flores. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for the invite.
Yes, thank you for coming on Drew TV and giving us some time today. You can find more of Cari on Instagram and Twitter at the official Florida Hemp Olympics. And on Twitter, it's FL Hemp Olympics. We'll have all the links in the description below, as always. So, Cari, thanks again for coming on the show. Let everybody know where you're located and what you got going on in the cannabis world.
Sure. So I'm actually located here in Wesley Chapel, which is not too far from Tampa, Florida. But I also do a lot of work in the Tampa Bay area. So I'm in Orlando, St. Pete, Sarasota. So we do events at Florida Hemp Olympics does events in several cannabis venues. So we're all over the place, but I'm physically located in Wesley Chapel, which is really close to Tampa, Florida.
Awesome. And we're in Orlando, so I definitely want to talk more about the Florida Hemp Olympics because I think we're going to have to be a part of it at some point. So,
yeah.
But before we do, the show is my first time, Cari. So please let us know about the first time you got high.
So my first time that I got high was pretty uneventful, right? So I was in high school. I was probably a sophomore or a junior. And all I can remember is just laughing and continuously laughing. And I just couldn't stop laughing. That's really all I remember from that event. But the first time I hit a bong, now that's a different story. And that was many years later. And I was like a recreational user, wasn't really like a daily user or anything. So I had a really low tolerance. And I was hanging out with a friend, and he was much heavier user than I was, and he just did bongs and dabs. So of course he introduced me to the bong, and I hit that bong so hard that I just couldn't stand up. Like I couldn't even feel my legs. It was like the craziest thing. So we were outside in his backyard. So he was like, oh, it started to rain, like drizzle. So he's like, oh, let's go inside. So I stand up and like my legs just gave out. And if you can imagine how a giraffe, a baby giraffe, when their legs are kind of like wobbly, and I was like a baby giraffe. I couldn't even like hold my body up. So I fell flat on my face. It started raining. I was like crawling my way to the house because I couldn't stand up. And I just remember I just passed out from one hit from a bong. So I have a lot of respect for that. But today, that was many years ago. So today I can definitely hit a bong and not have that experience. But that was definitely, it was fun in a sense because we laugh about it today, my friend and I. But yeah, that was my first time hitting the bong. That was fun.
Wow. Yeah. Face down in the rain. That's not something that usually happens when you take a hit off a bong, but
and he was all worried because it was his backyard and he had neighbors, and he was like, his neighbor was going to see me in the ground, like passed out. He's like, oh my God, they're going to call the cops. They're going to think I did something to you. Yeah, because I wouldn't move. I just wouldn't move. And he was trying to carry me, and I was like, no, leave me alone. I got it. And I definitely didn't have it. So
yeah, that wouldn't help the destigmatizing.
It wouldn't.
When you partake now, do you still consume flower?
I do. I consume a lot of CBD. So THC, like I said, I still have a low tolerance for it. And so I like to macro dose with CBD and I micro dose with THC.
Okay.
So I do mostly tinctures, edibles, and flower. And it depends. So I do use it for sleep. So okay. I like to combine the tincture and the edible at night, so one gets you to sleep right away and one keeps you asleep. Yeah. So I'll do the tincture and the edible to at night to help me get that really, really good sleep.
How's the bong hits today? Do they still
I
hit
do
the
it,
same?
I do it socially. So when we're, I don't own a bong, but when we're with friends and we're doing it socially, I'll hit it very lightly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I love the look of the bong. I love all the cool bongs that I see. Some friends have like custom made ones. I have such a low tolerance that it just really, yeah, it just really puts me out.
One of the few times I remember being really, really high. I was smoking all day, so maybe this isn't fair, but uh like smoking in the afternoon and then 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, somewhere around there, someone brought out a 6-foot bong. And after that, as a teenager, I'm like, oh, I'm the highest tolerance there is. I just keep smoking all day, whatever. After that, I was like, I can't smoke anymore. And I was so stoned. The next day, I remember being stoned.
Yeah.
So, and most recently, the most recent time that I was whacked out, so to say, was out of a bong. So there you go. There's
Yeah, I think they're a bond for me or edibles. Edibles. My son, um, we recently got our hemp license, so we started growing at home.
okay.
Um, and with the hemp, once you get it tested, you don't know the THC levels, right? So he was like, "Mom, I'm gonna make you some edibles with our flower that we grew," and and they definitely had too much THC in it because yeah, it definitely knocked me out. I was expecting like a CBD, relaxation, kind of just a chill thing, and it was definitely not that. So, but
Yeah.
edibles, you never know. Like, and you just never know with edibles. They either hit you super hard or not enough. So it's yeah, hit or miss with edibles for me.
It's tricky. Sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about the Florida Hemp Olympics. How are you involved and how'd you get started with that?
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about myself. It'll lead
Sure,
into the Hemp Olympics, how I
please.
got involved. So I am a certified health and wellness coach, and I do that as my own personal brand and business. But I got involved through coaching, health and wellness coaching through my full-time job. So I work for a cannabis-centric wellness center here in St. Pete Beach. And what's really unique about this venue where I work is I don't know of any other venue like this in Florida. So we're a co-work space, and we have you can become a member here. We have a conference room where it's also a medication lounge. So if you have your state card, your state license, you can come here and medicate, and you can have a meeting in our conference room.
Okay.
We also are a 420 friendly venue. So if you want to rent out the place and have a 420 party, 420, related. We've had bar mitzvahs here. We had a memorial here. We've had many parties, and then we isolate a room for a medication lounge, and you can medicate here. And we also have wellness classes like yoga, belly dancing. We have sound bowl healing. We have a massage room, which is the room I'm in right now. That's why it looks so neat in the back.
Yeah, very cool.
But yeah, so that's how I got introduced into the whole wellness space with cannabis. I was a health coach for seniors for many, many years before cannabis became legal here in Florida. And then once cannabis came here legally here in Florida, we opened up this place, and I work here as well. So my health coaching, I've incorporated cannabis and mushrooms. So when I have a patient that's struggling with the health and wellness goal, I try to see how they feel, if they're open to cannabis and mushrooms, and try to guide them in the right direction of how they can use that medicinally. So that led me to being a co-founder of the Florida Hemp Olympics. So my partner and I, Chris, he's actually the mastermind in one of our sessions. He came up with the idea of having a group, an organization that did cannabis games, like the Olympic games, right?
Okay.
But we test your cannabis skills, and they're time attack games. So for example, we'll have build a pipe with aluminum, or grind and pack a bowl as fast as possible. Or this last time we had like a pound to the hole. So we had an actual pound of herb, and you had to try to like throw it through a tire. So it's a pound through the tire. Yeah. So we just come up with these fun games. We have cannabis trivia and things like that. And then we have a gold, silver, and bronze winner. The lowest winner was $250 cash prize, or valued cash prize, up to $1,000. So the gold gets $1,000 a cash prize if you win. So we've done it 2 years. Cannafest, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Cannafest. It's usually held in Port Charlotte. we do our games there annually there at that event. So this year we'll have, and that's in November, I believe, in Port Charlotte. So
Okay.
we'll have this year's game there.
Is
And
that the potluck
yes,
SQ? Okay.
yep, yeah, Brian's the organizer. He does many events, but Cannabis is the one where we do our games. He just had a pop event, the Plants Over Pills here in St. Pete this
Okay.
past weekend, but it's that same organizer. He does great events. And yeah, and that's where we do our games. So we gather a bunch of advocates and volunteers to help us put the games together because it does require a lot of manpower. You know, we have to have judges and we have to, you know, everything's timed and things like that. So yeah, you know, you're welcome to come this year and check it out. The games are always fun, and they're easy games. You don't have to be a heavy cannabis user to actually win. Our what this year, not this year, last year's game winner, the one who won the bronze game. She's like, oh, I'll never win. I don't know how, I've never packed a bowl in my life. I've never done this. I've never done that. And she actually came in third place because it goes by time. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you can do terrible in one game, but do great in the other. So it's your total average time. So it's pretty neat. You just got to come and see.
I was just going to ask for the physical events, this is just a silly question. I know the answer to this, but do you have like the stoner events where you're required to smoke before or get high? And then do you have like the non-smokable events where, you know, maybe the sober people that don't want to?
Actually, we don't. We don't.
Okay.
You come as you are. You know, you do you partake as you are.
I was just thinking when you said a timed event, I'm like, man, some of those could probably take longer than normal if somebody was stoned. So
Yeah, no, the only little like I would say one where it's kind of we had to kind of eliminate this one game because it was called the smoking with fifths. So you had to smoke a vape and it was how long you could hold the vape in. People were passing out.
yeah,
People were
yeah.
just yeah. So we were like, oh, okay, no. So we had to call the paramedics because people just yeah. So that one we had to kind of take out because of liability reasons. But yeah, but no, they're come as you are. Some people come, you know, a little lit. Some people are sober. So depends.
Cool. Well, I love the idea of it. We're going to be at the Florida Cannabis Festival in Mount Dora the weekend before.
Right.
And I was just speaking with someone about the event there in Port Charlotte. It's about 3 hours from us, so we're trying to figure out if we can get down there. But it sounds like great fun, and I mean, I definitely want to attend. I just need to. I probably won't know until we get a little bit closer, but.
So yeah. And he's got a good music lineup. He's always had really good entertainment for the Cannafest. So and I can't remember who he has lined up this year, but yeah, the music is always really good. The vibes, the people are always really great. So hope you can make it for sure.
Yeah. So any new events added this year? You took away the holding the vape event.
We added two new games. I'm not sure which ones are going to make the Olympic Games in November, but we have added two events. Two new games. One is the best artistic filter. So you make the filters that you would make, but you've seen them where they make like they'll make like a smiley face in the filter, or they'll make like the flower with the weed emblem and stuff like that. So that's one. And that's actually pretty difficult because I tried it myself. So that's one. And then the other one is guessing a strain. So we have you try 3 or 4 strains, and then we give you a list of strains, and you try to match the strain with the bud.
Okay.
So that's another one.
Are those timed events?
All timed.
All timed. Okay.
Yeah. And it's the best. So that's what I'm saying. You might be great at packing a bowl, but you may be terrible and use your whole time up just trying to guess a strain. So it all just depends how you do it toward the end, and you'll be surprised how well people do. And yeah,
it sounds like great fun. I definitely hope we can attend. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So is this must not be once a year. You guys must go to different locations and
So we do the actual games once a year. We want to try to do it twice a year. But right now we've only been doing it once a year. But we do outside of the Olympic Games, we do just go to we do sponsor other events. So we have like different, we support the cannabis community. So I don't know if you're familiar with TK Sweets.
oh yeah.
So we sponsor a lot of her events. So, we support, she does a lot for breast cancer. She does a lot for autistic organizations, autistic children awareness stuff. And then our own cause is cyberbullying. So we try to do in any event that we do, if we're raising money, we contribute or we donate to a cause. So our own cause is cyberbullying. So there's Cyber Smile is an organization that 100% of their proceeds go to online harassment and anti-cyberbullying, because we were actually victims of a cyberbully within the cannabis community.
Okay.
So we're big advocates for that. I think that the internet should be a safe place for us. We don't all have to agree. We should just get along and respect each other. So yeah, so we always try to donate and give back to the community. So we do other events, for sure. We sponsor or vendor, or we just donate and try to help the community in general.
Awesome. Now I'm picturing the medals. Is it
Oh my God.
Is that
the? No. So, well, this year what we did was we linked up with Dibs Glass, and he's a glass blower, and he actually created our medals out of glass.
Oh,
so
wow.
He made them with our logo, and they were gold, bronze, and silver, and they were actually glass custom made metal pieces. Wow. I mean, not metal pieces, glass pieces.
Glass pieces, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So awesome. We'll see what we do this year. Last year, what did we give away? Oh, last year, I believe it was the actual trophy. It was an actual trophy that you won.
Hey everybody, I want to quickly mention Food Forest Abundance. Food Forest Abundance is a great way to create your own self-sustaining food forest and naturally occurring ecosystem that's commonly found in nature, but designed specifically for you. Through multiple layers of trees, shrubs, herbs, vines, rhizomes, mushrooms, and perennial vegetables, you can become your own supply chain without the typical maintenance required of a garden. From small spaces to large areas, both urban and suburban, Food Forest Abundance wants us to get back to our roots in nature by engaging with our food production in a meaningful way. For more information, click on the link in the description below and start your journey today. Okay, let's get back to today's episode.
But we'll see. We'll try to get creative and see what works best. I really like the glass pendants. I mean, they were really popular. People really loved them. So maybe we'll stick with that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying hearing more and more about this because I like the competitive aspect to it. So
yeah, you don't have to be physically, you don't have to be super strong, or you don't have to be, super fast to win the games. It's really based on just cannabis skills, really. So.
And is there like an entry fee?
So yeah, there usually is an entry. That's how we raise money. And our group of advocates are really volunteers that help put us together. So it just helps cover the cost of the materials. We do pay for lunch and the ticket to the events and stuff for our volunteers. And then we also donate proceeds to this past games. We donated to the Grateful Veteran. So he does a lot for veterans. So we donated proceeds to him. And this year we'll choose an organization, a nonprofit to also help. But it depends. It's usually different. We're big on, like I said, anti-bullying, and we support also autism awareness. So my partner, who's also helped me out and is, like I said before, Chris is really like the visionary of the Florida Hemp Olympics. He's a big supporter of autism awareness because it's affected him and his family. So yeah. So that's what we do. We do want the cannabis community to come together and support each other. And we try to do that in our events, and we try to do that in linking people together that we think work really well together. And I just love our cannabis community. I do. Beside the very small and few negative, cyberbullying experiences that we've had much, much more love and support from the cannabis community.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I've been in Florida for 3 years. I'm from Massachusetts. And so when we moved down here, we didn't have much of a a network. We didn't know too many people. And so one of the reasons we started Dro TV was to be able to connect and build some relationships. And some of the events we've been to in Orlando have been really great. But just going to KushCon this past weekend and seeing how strong of a community in the Tampa and St. Pete area, it's pretty awesome. And I'm sure it's like that in Orlando here too. We just haven't been to enough of them, but
Oh, definitely. Like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Stoner Girls, but Tay, which is the leader of Stoner Girls,
yeah.
she's based out of Orlando, and we do a lot of work with her too. You know, she helps young girls, teaching them how to create their social media um, presence, and she's been very successful helping the girls, young girls who want to have a cannabis presence on social media, but they don't know how to get it going or how to start it or how to build it. So she's based out of Orlando. And there's a few other people. I don't know if you're familiar with Mad Baker. She's also a really great, she makes edibles, and she's also based out of Orlando. But yeah, there's a lot of people in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mad Baker, I'm pretty sure we've connected with her, but I gotta write that down just before so I don't forget. Stoner Girl Tay, we've definitely reached out to her and been in contact. So hopefully we can do something with her as well.
Yeah. And sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I did want to mention, I forgot to mention, we do have another upcoming event that's on September 10th. So I linked up with Joseph from Highly Recommended. He's a good friend of mine also in the cannabis community. And we're doing our very first cannabis jiu-jitsu tournament pool party.
Okay.
So that's going to be on September 1st here in Brandon, Florida. And the cool thing about it is the venue. So have you heard of the Hemp Mansion?
Yes.
Okay, so Flavio from the Hemp Mansion has been kind enough to allow us to use his basically his home where he grows hemp, and he has a beautiful mansion to hold this cannabis jiu-jitsu tournament. So we're going to be able to have the athletes compete outside. You know, the background's going to be the beautiful hemp field. We're going to have the VIP area in the back of the mansion where they have like a beautiful infinity pool. And of course, we're going to have music and vendors. It is limited to a small group because they only allow up to 200 people on their property. So it's not like going to be a huge event. So it's more of an exclusive, you know, private thing. So I'll send you the invite because I'd love for you to be there. But that's going to be our next upcoming event. And the really cool thing beside the venue is that these athletes are all going to win cash prizes. So in the jiu-jitsu world, it's a lot like the bodybuilding world where I come from. You don't really make money unless you're pro, right? Like once you reach pro level, that's when you start making money on wins. So this will be a jiu-jitsu tournament where, you know, you can win money. Believe the top prize is 1,000 or 900. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, they're gonna have really nice prize winnings. So that's another really cool aspect to this cannabis jiu-jitsu tournament that we're going to be having on September 10th at the Hemp Mansion.
Is that in Naples?
No, so Brandon is in Tampa. It's
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the Tampa Bay area. It's here. It's not, I want to say from Orlando, it's probably like not even an hour, maybe about 50 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. It took us about an hour to get to KushCon. So I don't know why I thought the Hemp Mansion was down in Naples, but it's even closer, even better.
Yeah. I mean, there might be another one, but yeah, Flavio's Hemp Mansion is in Brandon.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, Cari, it's been great speaking with you. Let everybody know the best place that they can find you.
Yes. So the best place to reach us and to find out where we'll be and what we're doing is going to be on Instagram or Twitter. So on Instagram, we are Official Hemp Olympics. No, sorry, Official Florida Hemp Olympics, all spelled out. And then on Twitter, we are FL Hemp Olympics. So reach out to us and yeah, say hello.
Excellent. And we'll make sure all the links are in the description below, so you won't be able to get away with not knowing how to find them. So thanks again, Cari. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go down and hit that like button. It certainly helps with the algorithm, but also why would you not want to like Cari's episode? This was awesome. I'm so looking forward to the Florida Olympics. I'm hoping we can make it out there in November. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you got to make sure you subscribe to Dro TV, because otherwise you'd miss great interviews and great guests like Cari and the Florida Hemp Olympics. So excellent stuff. I'll make sure that we link to as much stuff as we can for this episode and these upcoming events. So thanks again for coming on Dro TV, Cari. And as always, smoke them if you got them. What's up, Dro TV family? You can now stream the audio version of all these episodes on your favorite podcast player. And if you like more episodes like this, check out this playlist we put together over here for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube. You don't want to miss more great content from Dro TV. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, smoke them if you got them.